A woman appears calling for her husband in the woods late at night when the sight of him makes her scream in fear. Many years later, 10-year-old Willow watches her mother Imogene take her father Noah and a pig into the car and drive away. The family lives far out in the middle of the woods. Willow seems to have some respiratory problems, possibly asthma, which causes her to live around an oxygen tank at all times. Knowing that something is being hidden from her, curiosity begins to get all over her life. Now she sneaks around and watches as her mother takes her father away at night from time to time and returns without him, listening to the hushed conversations about her family and trying to make sense of the possible situation. The constant whispering of those conversations and her strange nightmares begin to make her more curious with each passing day. She can see that every time this happens, her father returns exhausted and covered in blood, but Imogen somehow avoids all of Willow's questions. But Imogen is not very good at hiding the fear on her face. Another night, Willow sneaks by her parents' room and overhears Noah talking about how he's getting worse and doing something to Imogen, while Imogen tries to calm him down. The next day, Imogen takes Willow to the market to go shopping. While driving, Imogen suddenly stops and puts on a nicer outfit. She then lets Willow drive, giving the two some fun mother-daughter moments. At the market, Willow shops for a nice dress, and then the two head home, with Imogen returning in her usual clothes. Noah happily greets them when they return. He starts to fool around with Willow by grabbing her dress and making her jump for him. However, he suddenly freezes, causing Willow to freeze as well, as he sniffs the air around her before smiling again and going back to fooling around with her. The next time Willow witnesses Imogen taking Noah away, it seems curiosity has finally killed the cat as she follows them. In the middle of the woods, Imogen and Noah are seen entering a shed-like space, where Imogen chains Noah's neck while telling each other that nothing is changing. Then Imogen goes back outside and closes the door. Willow is strangely taken by this sight, and as soon as Imogen is outside, she decides to crawl through the bars of the door and look inside. Fortunately, Imogen catches her vision and rushes back, telling her not to go in. By the time Imogen catches up with Willow, she has already witnessed her father transform into a monster. Imogen has to pick her up and rush her home to put on her oxygen mask. The next few days pass in silence in the house, with Willow still in shock and Noah and Imogen in pain that her daughter had to witness this. Willow decides to go to her grandfather Waylon, but the parents selfishly send her back home, not caring about how upset she is. Willow returns home, but all the strange cases keep flashing before her eyes, making her head feel like it could explode at any moment. One night, Willow panics because there is someone at the door, but it is her grandfather. Waylon asks her to pack her things while they leave, and Willow complies. As the two drive, Noah and Imogen catch up to the car, stop it, and tell Willow to come back with them. Waylon calls Noah a monster and tells them that Willow is not safe there, but they don't want Willow to be away from them. He pushes him away. Noah violently tries to get Willow out with him, and Waylon punches him in the neck until he passes out. Imogen yells at her father, calling him a monster, and tells Willow that she will come back with them even if she hates them. The next day, Noah yells at Willow to get in the car with them and takes her to the same shed. He sits there and tells a story about his family curse. His grandfather used to turn into a wolf every full moon but kept it a secret from his wife. When Grandma decided to follow him one time, she didn't live to question him the next day. Noah's grandfather was so traumatized by what he did that he shot himself. This story was told to Noah by his father, who was not a kind father to Noah. Noah then breaks down because he doesn't want to carry on this cursed family legacy, but he can't control it. Willow hugs her father to comfort him, realizing that this may not be under his control. A few days later, Noah is cutting down trees when Willow tells him she wants to try it. Noah makes up a wild story that he is the king of the jungle and owns it here. He then makes Willow kneel dramatically and makes her swear allegiance to the jungle and that she will protect the family. He then declares her the princess of the jungle. Later, the two are enjoying their sandwiches in the back of the car when Noah gets up to get her some tea. He notices a piece of fabric under the driver's seat. It is the dress Imogen wore to town. Smelling it, he gets very angry and violently forces Willow into the passenger seat before driving away. That night, Willow has to lie under her bed with her mask on while she tries to fight off her father's screaming accusations that her mother is cheating on him. However, the next day, things calm down. As Willow's birthday approaches, Imogen gives her miniature versions of her pigs, their car, and some matches. Willow loves playing house with matches that match their house and characters that look like the family, not the fake ones. Waylon visits them again, giving Willow a puppy. It was a happy day for everyone, ending with Willow assuring Imogen that they were safe in this house and Imogen telling her that she wouldn't let anything hurt Willow. Later, Willow decided to build a shed with her matches and play, remembering how her mother went on and tied up Noah before returning, while the scenario was also playing out in real life. At night, Willow was sleeping when she heard Noah whispering to her to let him in. She woke up and broke the matchstick door to her house, but one of the sticks got inside her fingernail, and her fingernail came out. Before she could fully panic about it, her body began to expand and she realized that she was turning into a monster as well. Willow wakes up from this nightmare due to the shock and has to drag herself to put on her mask due to her shortness of breath. As Willow calms down after this, she gets up to get a drink of water when she hears a knock on the front door. Willow decides to go outside and tries to open the door, thinking it is her father, but Waylon gets there in time and takes her. He lies and says it's just wind, but after putting Willow to bed, he gets into an argument with Imogen because Imogen knows he has a gun to shoot Noah if he comes here. Willow eavesdrops on them and starts to lose her breath after hearing Waylon say Noah is going to come and kill them all. As she falls unconscious on the ground, the two rush in, hearing her fall. Since her tank is empty, Imogen rushes to get it from outside. Waylon yells for her to hurry, but Imogen takes a moment to yell at the door that she won't let him hurt Willow. Unfortunately, Imogen trips as she rushes in, causing the gun to fall. As the two try to get Willow to breathe, they hear the main door open. Waylon tells them to hide and climbs down to somehow stop Noah. However, he's late enough to climb down that he can only attempt to push the door open. Because Noah is a monster, he pushes the door open, causing the deer antlers on the wall to pierce Waylon's body. Imogen hides with Willow in hopes that she will wake up soon. Once she wakes up, Imogen has to cover her mouth with her hands since Noah is outside the house. Once they manage to dodge Noah, they slowly move down to escape. Hiding from Noah's sight, Imogen managed to get out of the car and told Willow to drive away if she didn't get out with Waylon in a few moments. The two almost got caught if it weren't for Willow's help, but unfortunately, the car didn't start. Waylon decided to sacrifice himself to make them escape. In the woods, the two ran as far as they could, but just as Imogen turned away from Willow to check if Noah was somewhere ahead of them, he appeared from behind and dragged Willow to the shed. Imogen ran there and begged Noah's werewolf body to listen to her and not hurt their daughter. She managed to calm him down and realize who he was and who they were. Imogen hugged him, begging him to come back. Noah hugged him back, but soon remembered that Imogen had once told him she loved him when he wasn't the monster he was. The rage returned and Noah attacked Imogen. As Imogen tried to pull herself away from him, Willow remembered Noah's promise to protect the family. Using the lantern flame and the pressure from her tank, Willow sets Noah on fire to save her mother. A few days later, the nightmare is over, and Imogen packs up to leave the woods. But Willow's dreams and whispers are still fresh. When Imogen reaches out to them to leave, Willow gets an image of Noah, in his human form, beating Imogen that night, and then calling Willow a little monster. The film ends here, leaving us with an open ending that suggests Willow either suffers from the same curse as well, or perhaps the curse wasn't a werewolf thing, but an abusive one. It's possible that Willow's 10-year-old brain has envisioned her father's abusive behavior as turning into a monster at times, only to see it as an escape. Because her last memory was of Noah beating Imogen in his human form, Noah's bipolar behavior is also visible throughout the film. It's left to the viewers to figure out how to make sense of this ending.